Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Ronke, aka Ronnie, and let's talk about movies.
Hello, I'm Ronnie. Let's talk about movies.
Okay, so a little backstory about this channel. A little while ago, during the first COVID lockdown, I started making these short videos, kind of like movie reviews, but not really reviews. I'm not a film critic, I didn't study film or anything, I'm just a film lover. And I did the videos as kind of like a commentary on the films I was seeing at the time. And I had those videos published on Instagram, and I briefly considered setting up a YouTube channel, but one thing led to the other, and obviously we know how plans go. But now I decided to kind of just take the plunge and just do it. Film movies is something that I'm very passionate about. So doing this is more of like having a channel to just talk about things I find interesting. The stories, the characters, the dialogue. Those are like three main, I would say, tenets for me of what the film is all about. So that's really what these commentaries are going to be about. And then a little bit about my writing, because I'm a writer, and maybe some lifestyle videos or whatever. But this channel is just going to be random stuff of my life, really, and my interests. So thank you for tuning in. Please stay a while, please leave a comment, please subscribe and share. I promise to try and make these videos worth your while. So I decided, since film is something that I love, let's take a little trip back in time and look at what was the initial attraction to films. And when I started thinking about that, I started thinking about the early movies I'd seen as a child. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk about my all-time 5 favorite films from my childhood. Now, these movies, they're really just the films that kind of shaped me as a child. So I will get into my first all-time favorite movie as a child, The Sound of Music. I know, that's kind of cliche. If you've seen it, if you haven't, I'm not going to bore you with the story of what Sound of Music is about. I'm going to pop a link in the description. But what I loved about Sound of Music was I could actually recite several scenes from the film. But there was this one scene where the little one, Gretel, was performing for the guests, and she falls asleep on the stairs, and her older sister picks her up and takes her to bed. And I don't know, just there's just something about that sleeping on the stairs thing that I really wanted to do growing up, but we lived in a bungalow, so obviously I couldn't do that. But it was very fascinating for me, and Sound of Music was just one of the earliest, I'd say, films that kind of shaped my childhood, and I think maybe shaped my love for music as well. Second film that shaped my childhood was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Now, I don't think I've met anyone who's ever seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, apart from my sister. Except for sometime earlier this year when I just started my new job. I met this one guy who's probably in his, 50s, and he just burst out into song, and it was a song from Chitty Bang Bang. I don't remember which it was, but I was just like, oh my god. So it was kind of like a pleasant surprise to meet someone who'd actually seen it. But yeah, Chitty Bang Bang is amazing. It's about a man who he's raising his 2 kids alone. He's a widower, and he's an inventor. He makes these really weird inventions. There's this one in the opening sequence where it's some sort of breakfast bar. I don't know, it kind of cracks the eggs and makes you breakfast, and yeah, it's really weird. But so he's an inventor and he makes this car, and that's where the name of the movie comes from, because the kids call the car Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, because of the sound the car makes. And so he makes this car that can go on land, air and sea. And they go on this adventure, and they kind of, I think they crash land, I'm not very sure, I don't remember, but they land in this island or this town place where there's a king and there are no kids, and the king likes to have these toys, and there's a toy maker who makes toys just for the king, and it's really weird. I haven't seen the film again in, I don't know, 2 decades or more, a little over 2 decades, but it's really interesting. I really loved it. I really loved the story and just music and all of it. Number 3 film that shaped my childhood was Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I really loved Wizard of Oz, and that's, I think, the main thing I loved about Wizard of Oz was the shoes. And I know that's weird, but I loved Dorothy's shoes. She had these pair of shiny bright red shoes, which she got from, I think it was the Wicked Witch of the East. After killing the Wicked Witch of the East with the house. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I will pop a link in the description box, so if you haven't seen it, you can see it. I'm not going to go into details of what the film is about, but I really loved Wizard of Oz. I remember bugging my mom so much to get me a pair of red shoes, and I think she did eventually. I will try and find a picture of it. I'm sure I don't think I'll be able to find it, but I did have a pair that I wore till they died, and I was really sad when they died. But yeah, Wizard of Oz was one really amazing film that kind of shaped my childhood. And yeah, that's number 3. Number 4 is Annie. I felt like I related a lot to Annie, to the character. There was the dog thing, I think, my love for sweaters. Oh, and I'm wearing a red sweater, just like Annie. So that may have been a big influence on me. But yeah, I really loved Annie. What was interesting though about all of these films really I've mentioned is the fact that as children, there's so many themes you don't get. I mean, my sister and I were saying Annie again, and there were a lot of scenes that the kind of interpretation that we had of those scenes as children was completely different from when we were seeing them as adults. You don't listen too much to the details, you just see everything on top and you fall in love with it, but then you grow older and your adulthood and trauma just comes into place and you're not able to see that magic anymore. However, that's number 4. It's Annie. And the number 5 for me film, and it's a Nigerian film, so if you're Nigerian seeing this and saying, oh my god, like, why is she mentioning all these Hollywood musicals? Yes, there's one Nigerian film on this list. Anyways, the 5th and final film that actually shaped my childhood, which is a Nigerian movie, is Thunderbolt, or Magun. And I really hope I pronounced that correctly. Don't judge me. My earliest memories of watching a Nigerian film was Thunderbolt. Yeah, Thunderbolt is literally a film about so it's a young woman who gets married and her husband accuses her of infidelity and does some sort of voodoo magic on her. There's this researcher guy who tries to kind of break the curse, almost dies, and then a witch doctor comes and saves him. And yeah, I'm not saying it really well. I will also pop a link in the description box, so if you haven't seen it, you can see it for yourself. But just it's a really well told film that I think it's still one of the best productions that have come out of Nigeria. The producers, Mainframe Productions, are really amazing in storytelling. There are other films that they've done that's seen later on, and probably I might talk about them later on this channel, but that particular one was a really good one that I really enjoyed, and it was just a really Nigerian film. It wasn't very Yoruba, even though Yoruba language was spoken. The main character, so there's a lot of it's translated into English, and she herself doesn't speak Yoruba so well, although there are characters in the film who speak Yoruba, so it's like a blend of everything. I don't know if it's in HD. I really feel like it should be put on Netflix because I think there's so many people that would want to see it or see it again. But yeah, that's it from me. Those are my 5 favorite films from my childhood. These are films that literally just shaped me, I think, as a child, and have a really dear place in my heart as an adult. So that's it for me. I'd really like to know what your favorite childhood movies are. So please share in the comment section. If you really like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and share with anyone you think would find this channel interesting. And I hope to see you next week with another video. I'm not sure what film I'll be talking about then, but subscribe and you can find out. Bye.